Good morning, everyone. I am teacher Jarrett, and today we are starting a new week. So our weekly concept is, what time is it? So sometimes people look at their watch to tell the time. Sometimes they look at a clock on the wall, right? Or sometimes if you're in your car, you look at your car radio, right? That'll tell a time. So our essential question this week is, how do we measure time? And let's talk about it. What are these children learning to do? So this looks like it is a clock, right? It's a clock. And this little girl is learning how to tell time on a clock, right? Yeah. So let's read all of this together, and then we're going to do the first thing that we always do in a new week, and that is learn some new vocabulary, okay? Yay! All right, so let's read this together. Weekly concept. What time is it? Essential question. How do we measure time? Talk about it. What are these children learning to do? And we said these children are learning to tell time, right? Okay, so let's go to the next page. All about time. So that is our theme for this week, okay? So this week, all of the stories that we read and all of the words that we learn will relate to time, or they will have something to do with time. All right, let's read this together. All about time. And we can see there's a little boy and a little girl holding their clocks, and the clocks show time, right? So this looks like it's almost 3 o'clock, right? And this looks like it's almost 12 o'clock, okay? So we're going to learn some reading, and we're also going to learn about how to tell time, okay? All right, let's go to our new words for this week. Okay, so our first word is away. A-W-A-Y. And the sentence is, do all birds fly away in fall? So fall is a season, right? So it goes winter, spring, summer, fall, right? Okay, so fall is from September until usually November or December. So the word away means to go in the direction opposite of where you are. So if I'm here, away means that way. Or if you live in a city and you drive somewhere else, it means you're driving away from that city, okay? So let's make our writing space, and we can make a sentence. Okay. Away. All right. So away means to go to a different location you are now. So let's see for a sentence. I will go away to summer camp in June. Okay, so you can say, I will go away to summer camp in June. right? So that means you will go away from your home to summer camp. And then that will happen in the month of June, right? Another example is the rabbit ran away when I chased it. Okay, so the rabbit was standing in one spot, and then when you chased it, run, 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 the rabbit ran away. So it went somewhere that wasn't in that original spot, okay? So when we look at this question here, do all birds fly away in fall? We know that that's not completely true. Some birds fly away because they need to get to warmer weather. But some birds like the cold weather, and so then they stay in the place that they are living, right? Okay, good. So let's go on to our next word. Now. Now means this very moment. This very moment. So when the sentence that they give us is, it's time for us to eat now. So that means at this very second, it's time for us to eat, okay? So we need to eat because we're in school and the time is 12 o'clock, so that means it's lunchtime, right? So that's one example. And let me write the explanation. Now means this very moment. And for an example, it is 12 o'clock, so we need to eat now. Okay? Another example of now could be what? Do you have any ideas? If you have an idea, raise your hand. Okay, I want you to tell me. I'm listening. Yes, that is a very good idea. Good sentence. You can also say, it is late, so I need to go to bed now. Right? So, since it is late at this very moment, you need to go to bed. Okay? Good job. Now we will learn about the word some. Okay? I don't think we have enough room here, so let's put that word on this side. Okay. So the word some. Some kids like to wear a watch. So see, there's the little boy and he's wearing a watch. So we can say some means that a group of people means a small group of people, animals, or things So some means a small group of people, animal, or things, right? So some kids like to wear a watch. So that means that there's a small group of kids who like to wear watches, right? Or you can say, I don't eat some types of vegetables, right? So that means there's a small group of vegetables that you won't eat. Maybe you don't like them, or maybe you're allergic, right? Or you can also say, I Oh, that's a good one. Some of my friends are taller than me, right? So you have a group of friends, and a small group of your friends are maybe taller than you or shorter than you, right? If you're very tall, then maybe you're the tallest, and so then no one is taller than you. But for most people, they can say, some of my friends are taller than me. That means there's a small group of friends that are taller than you. Okay? So let's read this together now. We learned 3 new words, and we learned some sentences, and we made up our own sentences, right? So let's start with the word away. Away. A-W-A-Y. Do all birds fly away in fall? So, away means to go to a different location from where you are now. So our first sentence is, I will go away to summer camp in June. Or you can say, the rabbit ran away when I chased it. Right? Okay, good job. Yay! All right, let's go to our next word now. See how I just used the word now? That means at this moment we are going to the next word. And the next word is now. Yeah, okay. So now, N-O-W. It's time for us to eat now. So now for the definition. Now means this very moment. It is 12 o'clock, so we need to eat now. It is late, so I need to go to bed now. Good job. Okay, let's go to the next word. Some. S-O-M-E. Some kids like to wear a watch. Some means a small group of people, animals, or things. So for our sentences, we can say, I don't eat some types of vegetables. Or you can say, some of my friends are taller than me. Good job. Okay. So now, if you want to practice this again, you can hit pause. But if not, I am going to erase so we can go to the next page. Okay? 3, 2, 1. Okay, time to erase. Okay, now we have 3 more words we're going to learn. I'll just erase the words. Okay. So now our first word that we're going to learn is today. It is my birthday today. Okay, so today means this day. So let me type the meaning. Today means the day we are living right now. So, for example, you can say, today is June 13th, 2017, right? So you can say today is June 13th, 2017. And that means today, this very day is June 13th, right? Or you can also say today is the first day of school, right? So you can also say, if you said today is the first day of school, that means that day, the day you are living right now, is the first day of school. So usually that's at the beginning of September, right? So depending on when you're watching this video, today might be the first day of school, or maybe not. But you can practice using today by waking up in the morning, or you can say, wake up in the morning, and you can look outside, and you can say, today the weather, or no, you can say, the weather is very nice today, right? So you wake up in the morning, you look outside at out your window, and you say, oh, the weather is very nice today, right? Okay, so those are some examples of the word today. Now let's go to the next word. The next word is way. Way means way describes a method of doing something. Okay, so let's read this. Way, W-A-Y. A clock is one way to tell time. So you can use a clock, or you can use a watch, right? Or you can use the sun, right? If the sun is out, you know it's the morning or afternoon. And if the sun is hiding, if there's no sun, then you know it's nighttime, right? So, way describes a method of doing something. Okay, so you can say, driving is one way to get around the community, right? We can say driving a car is one way to get around the community, okay? So you can drive a car, or you can ride a bicycle, or you can walk, right? So those are all different ways to get around the community. Now let's see if we can think of another sentence. Can you think of another sentence? If you have an idea, raise your hand. Oh, I want you to tell me. I'm listening. Yes, very good. So, frying vegetables in oil is one way to prepare vegetables, right? So frying vegetables in oil is one way to prepare vegetables. So maybe you boil the vegetables, which means you get a pot of water, and you put the vegetables in and the water boils. Or you can fry, which means you take a pan and you put oil in and it goes, and then you put the vegetables in and it goes, and you fry it, right? So there's a lot of different ways to prepare vegetables, and frying is one way. All right, so now let's go to our next word. Our next word is why. Why is summer a fun season? Okay, so we can see that the children are playing in the water, right? And that's because it's hot in the summer, right? Yeah, so that's why it's fun, because in the summer you can go outside, you can go swimming, you can run around. In the winter, when it's really cold, you have to just stay inside, right? Because you don't want to get sick. So that's why summer is a fun season. So let's give the definition for why. Why is a word to ask the reason for something. Okay, so you can say, why do we have to go to school, right? And then you can say the answer is We have to go to school so we can get smart and learn, so we can learn new things, right? So you can say, why do we have to go to school? And the answer you can say is, we have to go to school so we can learn new things. All right? So let's think of another way to use why. If you have an answer, if you have an idea, raise your hand. Oh, I want you to tell me the answer. That's a good answer or question. You can say, why does teacher Jarrett wear glasses, right? And then you can say the answer, which is teacher Jarrett wears glasses so he can see better, right? So, all right. So that was a good question. So, why does teacher Jarrett wear glasses? See, I'm wearing glasses. And the answer is teacher Jarrett wears glasses so he can see better. Okay? Because if I don't have glasses, then I cannot see clearly. But when I have my glasses on, I can see clearly, right? So maybe some of you have glasses too. And that's okay, right? Because it's important for you to be able to see at school and at home and when you play with your friends, all right? So now let's go back to the word today and read this together, okay? It's your turn. I will listen. Today, T-O-D-A-Y. It is my birthday today. Now for the definition, today means the day we are living right now. And remember, we learned the word now, right? At this very moment. So you can say, today is June 13th, 2017. Or you can say, today is the first day of school. Yay! Or you can say, the weather is very nice today, right? Good job. Yeah, good job. Now let's learn the next word. Way. W-A-Y. A clock is one way to tell time. Way describes a method of doing something. So driving a car is one way to get around the community. Or frying vegetables in oil is one way to prepare vegetables, right? Good job. Okay, now for our last word in this section. Why? W-H-Y. Why is summer a fun season? Why is a word to ask the reason for doing something. So why do we have to Why do we have to go? Why do we have to go to school? And the answer is we have to go to school so we can learn new things, right? Yeah. Okay, let's look at the next sentence. Why does teacher Jarrett wear glasses? Teacher Jarrett wears glasses so he can see better. Okay, very good. All right, so those are the 6 new words we learned today so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let's read this together. I'll read it first and then you can read it. Your turn. Your turn. Say the sentence for each word, then make up another sentence. Okay, so we already read all of these sentences and we've made our new sentences, right? So let's read this together. Your turn. Say the sentence for each word, then make up another sentence. Okay, so now if you want to take some time to practice these sentences again, or if you want to make up some new sentences using these words, you can do that. Just hit pause, and start practicing. But if you don't want to do that, then I will erase all of these words and we can go to the next page, okay? Okay, good. So let's erase this. All right, now next page. Okay, we're learning a new sound today. Yay! Yay! New sounds. I like learning new sounds. So today we will learn the long A sound. The A and then other letters E spelling makes the long A sound in wake. Okay? So we see wake up, for example. This little boy is going to wake up. So let's learn some new words. Okay? Date, wave, snake, trades, whale, safe, game, vase, shakes, plate, grapes, brave. Okay. Okay. So now let's read all of this together. Okay. Long A. The A letter E spelling makes the long A sound in wake. Now we'll do these new words, okay? Date, wave, snake, trades, whale, safe, game, vase, shakes, plate, grapes, brave. Okay? And so if we don't have the E, then the sound the A makes is ah, right? So the sound that A makes without an E is ah. So we can say cat, or we can say rat, or we can say bat, right? But if we put an E after the word rat, we get the word rate. Okay? So it's important when we're learning to read that we know the sounds. So if we see an A and then a letter and then the E, the A is going to be a long A. Okay? If we don't see an E, like these words, then the sound is going to be ah. Okay? So we can say these words together. Cat, rat, bat. Okay? All right. So now that we learned these words, we're going to go and learn some more. Look, here is a sentence we're going to learn, and then we're going to learn new words that are going to be in one of the stories we are going to read this week, okay? Okay. So I'll read first, and then you can read, all right? Okay. Dave gave Jane a plate of grapes. Can the ants take the grapes? All right, so let's read this together. Dave gave Jane a plate of grapes. Can the ants take the grapes? Okay, very good. So we see all of those A and then a letter E sounds, right? So Ave, Dave, or Ain, Jane, or ate, plate, right? Yeah. So now I'll read this first, and then you can read, okay? Your turn. Look for these words with a long A spelled A, letter E, in Nate the snake is late. Okay? So the words are Nate, Wade, lane, snake, lake, gate, late, wake, tate, make, gaze. Okay? So now let's read all of this together. Your turn. Look for these words with long A spelled A, letter E, in Nate the snake is late. Okay. Nate, Wade, lane, snake, lake, gate, late, wake, tate, make, gaze. Okay, good. So when we read the book, Nate the Snake is Late, we will see these words. All right. So now we are going to go to the next part of the lesson, and we are going to learn some bigger words. Okay. Okay. I will move my picture over here. All right. So the first word we are going to learn is calendar. All right. So I will type in the word calendar. Oh, calendar is a book that helps us keep track of the day, month, and year. Okay, so here we can see the little boy uses the calendar to keep track of the days and the month. Okay, so, okay, wait. We'll put that here. Okay, so we can see that a calendar is a book that helps us keep track of the day, month, and year. So see, this is the calendar, and we can see that the year is what? If you know, raise your hand. Oh, who can tell me the year? I want you to tell me. I'm listening. 2012. Yeah, very good. So the year is 2012. Now, who can tell me the month? Who can tell me the month? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Oh, I want you to tell me the month. I'm listening. Yes, the month is November. Very good. All right, so we can see that it's November 2012. And the little boy is crossing off the 13th, which looks like it is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So it's either Wednesday morning and the little boy is crossing off Tuesday, or it's Tuesday morning and the little boy is crossing off Tuesday. All right? So let's make another sentence. So we can use a sentence like, what do you use a calendar for? So I use a calendar to remember my birthday and my friends' birthdays. Okay. Oh. So hold on. Okay. So I use a calendar to remember my birthday and my friends' birthdays, right? Because when you get a calendar, it has the whole year in your book, right? And so you can go into your calendar right when you get it and write down all of your friends' birthdays. And so when you are like the little boy and you wake up in the morning, okay. Well, this is a little hard to read, but let's do this instead. Okay, that's easier. Okay, so when you just get your calendar, you can open it up and you can write your friends' birthdays in it, right? Another way to use a calendar is what? If you have an idea, raise your hand. Oh, okay, I want you to tell me. Yes, another way to use the calendar is to count down the days until school is over, right? So when you start the school year, maybe you have 200 days. But if you use your calendar, you can count 200 and then cross off the first day. And then the second day, you have 199, and then you cross off that day when it's over. And the next day, you have 198, and then you cross that day off when it's over, right? So you can keep a countdown of school or work or class or anything, all right? So let's read all of this together now. Calendar, C-A-L-E-N-D-A-R. A calendar is a book that helps us keep track of the day, month, and year. The little boy uses the calendar to keep track of the days in the month. The calendar year is 2012, and the calendar month is November. Good. I use a calendar to remember my birthday and my friends' birthdays. Okay, very good. Good job. So now you can go out to the store and ask your mother or father to buy you a calendar. And then you can tell time, right? You can use the calendar to tell the day and the month and the year. All right. So let's erase this and we'll go to our next word. Okay. So the next word is immediately. Okay, so the definition of immediately is, oops, immediately means to do something right away. Okay, so we can see when the mouse saw the cat, it immediately ran into its hole, right? So when the mouse saw the cat, it immediately ran into its hole. Let's do this. When, the mouse saw the cat, it immediately ran into its hole. Okay. So here we can see the mouse and the cat. So the mouse saw the cat and then it ran into its hole, right? Because if it didn't immediately run into its hole, then maybe the cat would catch him, right? We don't want that. We want the little mouse to get away. So that's why we're happy it immediately ran into its hole, right? All right, so let's think of another sentence that uses the word immediately. When your mother tells you to do something, you should do it immediately, right? So if your mother tells you to do something, if she says, go clean your room, or if she says, come and sit down to eat, or if she says, go do your homework, then you better go and do it immediately, right? You can't say, okay, Mom, I'll go and do it tomorrow. No, you need to go and do it right away, okay? So let's read all of this together now, because this is a new word we learned. Immediately, I-M-M-E-D-I-A-T-E-L-Y. Immediately means to do something right away. When the mouse saw the cat, it immediately ran into its hole. When your mother tells you to do something, you should do it immediately, right? Okay, so now we are going to erase this and go and learn another word, okay? Okay. Occasion, look, they're having a party. And it looks like a birthday party because there is a cake with candles, right? So here's the two little girls, and here is the mother, and this must be the grandmother, right? The little girl's grandmother. So let's write the definition. Oh, let me read the word first. Occasion. O-C-C-A-S-I-O-N. An occasion, a special event. Okay. So an occasion is a special event. So can anyone tell me what the occasion for having this party is? So what is the occasion? The occasion for having this party is, who knows? Can you guess? If you know what the occasion is, raise your hand. Oh, you know, I want you to tell me. It is the grandmother's birthday. Yes, the occasion for having this party is that it is their grandmother's birthday, right? So, what type of occasions do you like to celebrate? We already talked about birthdays, so what else can we talk about? If you have an idea, raise your hand. Oh, I want you to tell me. The last day of school? Yeah! The last day of school before summer vacation is a happy occasion, right? So the last day of school before summer vacation is a happy occasion, right? And it's a happy occasion because it means you get to have the summer off so you can learn or play or help your mother and father around the house by cleaning or seeing your friends, right? So it's a happy occasion. What's another special event or occasion? You think of any other special occasions? Yes, national holidays are also special occasions, right? So a national holiday means that your country is celebrating for some reason. And so that's also another special occasion. Okay? Okay. I should say, yeah, okay. So sometimes the holidays are happy, and sometimes the national holidays are sad, right? Because you have to think about some stuff. But they're all special occasions because you don't go to school and you stay home and you either celebrate or you think, okay? So let's read all of this together now. Occasion, O-C-C-A-S-I-O-N. An occasion is a special event. The occasion for having this party is that it is their grandmother's birthday. Good job. The last day of school before summer vacation is a happy occasion. Good job. And now one more sentence. National holidays are also special occasions. Okay? Good job. We learned, this is a hard word. So it's so good that you learned it and you learned examples, right? Okay, so let's erase this. And let's go to the next word. Schedule. Okay. A schedule tells you when and where something will happen. So one example is a one example, like this picture, is a bus schedule, okay? So you can see on the schedule here, from Monday to Saturday, these are the times the bus will come. See, here's a bus. So it tells you when the bus will come, and it tells you where the bus will be at that time. All right? So now let's think about some other schedules. Oh, we'll cover up the bus. Oh, there's the bus. So you can, when the bus schedule tells you when and where bus will pick you up. So let's see another way to use schedule. When you go, let's see. The train schedule tells you when the train will leave and when it will arrive at the next city, right? So another example, this is a bus schedule, but there's also a train schedule, and that will tell you when the train will leave and when it will arrive in the next city, right? So you can see the train schedule, and maybe it says it leaves Shanghai, or maybe it leaves Chicago at 11 o'clock in the morning, and it arrives in New York at 11 o'clock at night, right? So that schedule tells you when it leaves Chicago and when it arrives in New York. All right? So let's read all of this together now. Oh, let me spell this before we read. Schedule. S-C-H-E-D-U-L-E. Schedule. Okay, now it's your turn. Schedule. S-C-H-E-D-U-L-E. A schedule tells you when and where something will happen. The bus schedule tells you when and where the bus will pick you up. The train schedule tells you when the train will leave and when it will arrive at the next city. Okay? So maybe today when you go out, you can look at the bus schedule, right? Or the next time you take the train, you can ask your mother or your father to show you the train schedule, right? And then you can look at your watch, or you can look at the clock, and you can tell the time, and you can tell how long it will take for you to get to your new destination, right? So if it's leaving Chicago at 11 a.m. and it arrives in New York at 11 p.m., then it will take you 12 hours to get there, right? Yeah, okay, very good. All right, now I will erase this. And let's go to the next page. This is our last word for today. So the word is weekend. So the weekend is Saturday and Sunday. Okay, so we can look at, what is this? Do you remember? I'll go up and show you. Okay, so we're gonna yell it out together. This is a calendar, right? Did you get it? I think you got it. You're so smart. Okay, so we can look at this calendar and we can see Sunday is here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So for American calendars, the first day of the week is Sunday, okay? Some calendars in some countries around the world say that the first day of the week is Monday. So you have to be very careful when you look at a calendar because you need to look at the very top and see if it starts with a Sunday or see if it starts with Monday, okay? So we can see the weekend is circled, right? Saturday and Sunday. So let's write our sentence. So we can say, we do not have school on the weekend. So we can play with our friends all day long, right? So we do not have school on the weekend, so we can play with our friends all day long, right? Or you can study, or you can go to the store with your mother and your father. So let's make a sentence of what you do on the weekends. On the weekends, you like to do what? I see you have an answer, but raise your hand. Oh, okay, now you can tell me. On the weekend, you like to sleep? You like to sleep on weekends, okay. So sometimes on weekends, when you don't have to go to school, you can sleep. Right? So that's one thing you can do on weekends. Let's think of another thing. On the weekend, you like to do what? If you know, raise your hand. Oh, I want you to tell me. Do your homework and study? Very good. You like to do your homework and study. Right? So there are lots of different things you can do on the weekend. So you can play with your friends, or you can sleep, or you can do your homework and study, right? So let's spell this. I'll spell this word one more time, and then we can read it together, okay? So weekend, W-E-E-K-E-N-D. Ready? Weekend, W-E-E-K-E-N-D. The weekend is Saturday and Sunday. We do not have school on the weekend, so we can play with our friends all day long. Or our next sentence, on the weekend, you like to sleep. Or our last sentence for today. Yay! Okay. On the weekend, you like to do your homework and study. Okay, everyone. Now pat yourself on the back. That means you did a good job. Okay, because this was the first lesson of the week, and we learned some hard words. Weekend, calendar, immediately, occasion, right? So those are some hard words. And schedule. So now you can take a deep breath. And you can practice using these words today, okay? But now I have to say bye-bye, all right? Because it's time for me to go. But I will see you next time, okay? So bye-bye, bye-bye.